So what I want to do is I want to hand it over to Aiden. Aiden is going to take the first portion to give you some information about some current trends, positive trends that we've had with our substance statistics.
So some positive trends that we're going to look at tonight, mostly in recency, are the use of drinking and marijuana use at SHS in the past 30 days. So drinking is down 22%, so from 50% in 2012 to 39% in 2017. And then binge drinking is down 28% from 38% 2012 to 27% in 2017. And marijuana use is down 34% from 35% in 2012 and 23% in 2017.
So I just want to qualify what he said with respect to the past 30 days. It's not like 30 days back from today. It's from when students engaged with the survey. So we survey our students, a quarter of the population, every quarter, because every student takes a quarter of health during the course of the school year. So it's within 30 days of when the student took the survey. If they took it in November, it would have been October to November. If they took it in May, it would be April to May, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Excellent.
And so, although any use of drug is a concern, the use of the following drugs are not common at SHS. So 94% of SHS students have never ever used cocaine. 98% of SHS students have never used heroin. And 94% of SHS students have never used a prescription drug that was not of their own. And so the two main substances that teens use are alcohol and marijuana. So we want to take a look at those tonight and show you what they can do to you and how we relate to the state in this topic. And Colleen.
Thank you, Aiden.
So this graph shows a representation of the alcohol usage of SHS students over time. The blue line represents ever using alcohol, the red line represents used alcohol in the last 30 days, and the green line represents binge drinking in the last 30 days. And to define binge drinking, it's 5 or more drinks in a row within a couple of hours. So the alcohol use in total of SHS students has decreased in recent years and then kind of plateaued to like a low rate in 2017.
Time for people to process.
And then marijuana usage in SHS students over time. The blue line is ever used marijuana and the red line is used marijuana in the past 30 days. So again, it's kind of a decrease, increase, and then back down again to pretty low rates in 2017. But marijuana use rates are now in line, like the Scituate rates are in line with the Massachusetts averages, and 68% of SHS students have never tried marijuana. So looking at those two graphs, it is some concerning data. There are high rates of regular marijuana usage among our juniors and seniors. And for the alcohol graph, the Scituate average is lower than that of Massachusetts, but the frequency and intensity and drunk driving is higher than the Massachusetts rate.
So now that we're all juniors, we have a lot of new experiences in our lives right now, including we're all just getting our driver's licenses, which means we have a lot less parental supervision. We have a lot more friends that use substances, and then also there's a lot of increased pressures, mainly academically, with looking at colleges and stuff. And all these things are going to factor into substance use and an increased risk of it. So this is the graph, or the percentage of students who have used alcohol in the past month. At SHS, about 39% of students have used it in the past month, which is it's going down, which is good, but it's still 5% more than the state average, which is 34%.
So you'll see that it's like 14, 37, 50, and 56. The weighted average of the people taking those is 39%, right? So it's not 39% of freshmen or seniors, that's the average, mean.
And then this is the graph of the percentage of students who've used marijuana in the past month. And the percentage used to be 43% at SHS, but now it's gone down to 23, which is really good. And it's finally 2% lower than the state average, which is 21%, but or 25%, but it's still higher than the national average, which is 21%. And that is everybody.
Okay, so when we do drink, we have a tendency for higher intensity and higher risk behaviors. So although a smaller percent of Scituate High School students have ever used alcohol versus Massachusetts, more high school students drank in the last 30 days and binge drank than the Massachusetts average. So we see like that even though like half of them don't drink, when the other half, when they do it at a more intense rate. So drinking and driving is also like a big concern. So in Scituate, we do get in a car with a driver who's been drinking more than the Massachusetts rate, and that usually is a person under the age of 21. But when we drink and drive, we're at a lower rate than the Massachusetts statistics, and that has been, this is the first time that it's been lower than the Massachusetts rate, which is good because we're making progress in that.
The 6 years we've collected the data, this is the first time that statistical measure is actually below the state average, which is something to be, it's progress. Oftentimes we'll be asked too, like, okay, I drove in a car with someone who's been drinking, who is it? We then ask, like, who is it? The typical responses or top responses are friend under the age of 21, and the second most popular response was a parent or guardian.
So compared to the nation, Massachusetts is the same rate of the people who binge drank, but in Scituate we are at a higher rate, 27%, and so that just shows that Scituate does a lot more binge drinking than the rest of the nation. Okay, so among the 27% students who binge drink, 21% also drink and drive. So that's a really concerning statistic because there's only like 6% who don't drink and drive when they binge drink.
Yeah, 7% of the people that reported drinking reported driving. That basically increases by 300% people that binge drink. So people that binge drink drive at a 300% more rate than people that just drink casually. If that makes sense.
Thanks, Amanda.
Okay, so as some of these statistics may be a bit startling for parents, the good news is that the role of parents is actually pretty crucial in whether or not your child uses alcohol and marijuana. So from these graphs, you can see on the left side, it's students who perceive little or no parental disapproval, and you can see that 58% of them do not regularly consume alcohol, while 42% do. And on the right side, of students who perceive a high disapproval, 8% regularly do, and 92% don't. Yep. And then in this graph, you can see that the disapproval rate and the usage rate are highly correlated. So as the years go on and parental disapproval goes down, the usage goes up, like at the pretty much like the same, like, but opposite. So like you can see like the high correlation between the two.
Yeah, so the
For alcohol.
perceived parent disapproval and actual use has an inverse relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so sorry.
No, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, take this. You got this.
Yeah. And then this is pretty much like the same trend, except this is for marijuana use. So as the years go on and the disapproval goes down, the usage goes up. And it's an inverse relationship.